So at MindBridge, we call guardians the neuropsychological mechanisms that prevent change to your cognitive system. Yeah. These, when we talk about values, beliefs, motivations, moralities, frames, and so forth and so on, when we talk about all of these components, they sit on a bed of neuropsychological cognitive mechanisms. These cognitive mechanisms were put in place over hundreds of thousands of years of our evolutionary history in order to ensure our survival. They are major systems. They are incredibly robust, right? Over hundreds of thousands of evolutionary history, these cognitive mechanisms developed and became genetically encoded, some of them as primary systems. So they don't want to move. They don't want to move. And so often when we're talking about in progressive movements, when we're asking people maybe to kind of change their mind or change the way they're thinking, or maybe engage in a certain empathic process that they weren't before, for the brain unconsciously, that might signal threat, because you're asking them to change a fundamental system. We don't like to change our mind. We like our values and our beliefs. We really like the things that we feel are moral. And we like them in part also because they're fundamentally neurobiologically rooted. And our writer doesn't quite realize that. But a big part of what tends to sustain them for us and our liking of them is because they're rooted in our cognitive system in order to ensure our survival. So every so often, we're going to come back to this idea of the guardians, how to talk to a guardian and how to sidestep a guardian so that you can get to the elephant. You're not going to blast through a guardian. They're there to protect you. They're doing their job, and they're doing a good job. We don't want to blast through them. They're our helpers. And frankly, blasting through them often means you kind of break the system, which we don't want. So we're going to learn to kind of acknowledge when we've got a guardian, and there's lots of kinds, and we'll talk about the different kinds of guardians as we go. So we're going to help you identify these guardians. And then based on the identification of that guardian, we're going to help you kind of go, okay, let's get to the side so we can get to our elephant. So I'm going to give you one example of a guardian. MindBridge, we're currently working on a whole sort of workbook around this, on how to identify guardians that you're going to come up against. Defensiveness is one that tends to come up a lot when we're thinking about politics, right? People feel defensive. And when they feel defensive, what do they do? What do they do when they feel defensive? Argue. Yeah, maybe they start arguing with you, right? They stop listening. They shut down, right? Yes. They take their feet deeper, totally. Get angry with you. Yeah. Try to push you away, right? Absolutely. Hang up. In the case of decanvassing, just hang up. It's easy, right? Escape is easy. Whoop, hang up. Try to just justify their actions. Yeah. Why would we feel defensive, right? For many, this might be a fear of loss or social significance, right? That defensiveness, that guardian is defending something. That guardian is defending something. Maybe what that guardian is defending is fear. Maybe what that guardian is defending is loneliness and fear of losing their in-group support. If they agree with you, maybe they will no longer be accepted, right? If they vote in that way, maybe they won't be accepted anymore. Maybe they're linking into a past pain or trauma. Maybe something is going on that you don't even know about, that is from years back, right? Yeah, don't know the facts. Maybe they just don't know the facts, right? And fearful of this being revealed. Yeah, you can have a fear of like, oh, maybe they're going to see that I don't know this thing. Yeah. So that guardian is often defending these feelings, and those feelings, that's your elephant, right? But often who we're talking to when we're on the phone or we're on social media, what have you, we're talking to our guardian that's going to show up as, right? Like hanging up, feeling defensive, shutting down, right? Blaming, yeah, justifying, making excuses. So how do we get that guardian
to put their sword down so that we can now talk to this little girl? How can we ask that guardian to put their sword down so we can talk to the little girl? What can we do? And we're going to validate that. Yeah, that must have been really hard. That sounds like that was really hard. Yeah. Non-judgment, right? Non-judgment. I'm not judging you. We're sharing right now. Yes, respect. I'm here with you this whole time. Curiosity, some people said asking questions. Yep. Willingness, some people said willingness to share vulnerability among others, right? And having that ability to ask our guardian to stand down, right? Give them permission to share. Yes. Yes. And giving permission to share, now we're talking to our little girl, right? We're talking to our elephant. We're not talking to the guardian anymore. The guardian's standing to the side. The guardian is watching you. Let me tell you, that guardian's watching you. But maybe they're just standing to the side for a little bit.